consistent performance of tech really is a confirmation maybe of this idea that we really ought to think about sectors as a little bit almost from a theme perspective, in the sense that tech is basically now um, you know sipping into every other sector. This whole digitalization and digitization we talk about of all sectors and all industries, they're all hinged on tech. So maybe the tech story really is just outside of the parameters of classic sector allocation anymore. I don't know.
I think that's a very good point. I think the broad definition of tech actually probably should be carved into segments.
Mm-hmm.
We talk old tech and new tech. That's probably
Mm-hmm.
not enough. Old tech is the stuff like IBM, Intel, Cisco, a bunch of good companies that still exist and still do things that are important. New tech, for some people, is the Google, Facebook, Amazon, etc. But there's even newer tech companies that people haven't even heard of yet. And if they would go and look at the OGIG portfolio holdings list or ask us for it, send us an email at info@O'Shares. We'd send it to you if you're an advisor. Um, you see companies you don't even know that are 10, 20, 30, $50 billion, $100 billion market cap, whether it's a Shopify or last year's darling Zoom or whatever else. There's many of them. Those are the newer tech. And they're mega caps or large caps, mega caps. And so when you actually categorize technology, it's not just is it old, new, or newer, it's also what kind of service is it providing. And if you go back a century, we weren't around then, but you go back a century, there's no such thing as technology. It was all about, I don't know, railroads and farm equipment and general industrial production, which has become a shrinking piece of the total market capitalization pie. And is likely to keep on shrinking as technology gets a greater share of what companies use to produce stuff. So I think tech, the broadest definition is just going to keep on growing. It's probably going to end up being, over the years, more than 50% of the aggregate market cap. And it's going to get more and more segmented. And we see already pushed into consumer discretionary things like Google and Amazon and Facebook and so on that people consider to be tech stocks, but they've been pushed out of the tech sector from a definition point of view,
Mm-hmm.
into discretionary or into communication services.